We bring you the latest updates from the Pna Newsroom. The Philippines assures continued help to Türkiye and Syria following the devastating 7.8 magnitude earthquake that killed thousands last week. In a media interview, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. said the 82-member Philippine contingent has set up a hospital and started rescuing victims under the rubble. He also said the government is also stepping up efforts to help Syria. The Office of Civil Defense said the Philippine contingent, which is currently aiding victims in Adiyaman City, is expected to stay there for the next 2 weeks. The Department of Migrant Workers, or DMW, has also established a task force and a 24/7 command center to monitor the situation of overseas Filipino workers over there. The latest report showed that the quake killed over 29,000 people in Türkiye and more than 3,500 in Syria. In the same interview, Marcos said he is open to the idea of adopting a visiting forces agreement with Japan if it does not increase tensions in the South China Sea. He recognized that the VFA may help protect the country's maritime territory and fisher folk. Marcos said earlier the Philippines would review a proposed trilateral defense and security deal with the United States and Japan.
We have to be careful also because we do not want to appear provocative. That's not what we want. Ang iniisip ko lang, yung ating mga fishermen kailangan maprotektahan, kailangan maliwanag na tayo sa Pilipinas. Talagang we are patrolling our waters and making sure that it is well recognized na yan ang talagang territory talaga na maritime territory talaga ng Pilipinas.
Meanwhile, the Philippine Coast Guard accused today a Chinese Coast Guard vessel of pointing a military-grade laser light at one of its vessels in Ayungin Shoal. In a statement, the Coast Guard said the Chinese vessel with bow number 5205 pulled towards the PCG vessel BRP Malapascua during a rotation and resupply mission of the Philippine Navy on February 6. The Chinese ship then lit open the green laser light twice towards the BRP Malapascua, temporarily blinding the crew at the bridge. The PCG then added the Chinese vessel also made dangerous maneuvers close to the Coast Guard ship. The Coast Guard also called out previous incidents where Philippine vessels were intimidated and blocked from delivering supplies to military personnel in the West Philippine Sea. Coast Guard Commandant Admiral Artemio Abu vowed that they will continue due diligence in protecting the country's territory while addressing foreign aggression. In a separate interview, PCG spokesperson Commodore Armando Balillo said the Philippine government might send a protest in connection with the incident. In other news, motorists will get a temporary reprieve starting tomorrow as oil companies announce another round of price cuts for the second week in a row. Philippine Shell announced it will reduce diesel prices by 2 pesos and 20 centavos and kerosene prices by 2 pesos and 50 centavos per liter. Meanwhile, gasoline prices will remain unchanged. The price rollback will take effect at 6 a.m. on February 14. Last week, oil companies reduced gasoline prices per liter by 2 pesos and 10 centavos, diesel prices by 3 pesos, and kerosene prices by 2 pesos and 30 centavos. Last week's continued decline in global oil prices were primarily attributed to the U.S. market's inventory buildup, the U.S. Federal Reserve's interest rate hike enforcement, and continued lackluster industrial production. Pope Francis has named Cebu Archbishop Jose S. Palma to a Roman Curia body that assists bishops and episcopal conferences in promoting Catholic identity in schools and universities. The Archdiocese of Cebu announced Palma's appointment to the Dicastery for Culture and Education based in the Vatican and is currently led by a Portuguese theologian, Cardinal Jose Tolentino de Mendonca. The former Pontifical Council for Culture and the Congregation for Catholic Education merged to form the Dicastery. Palma previously served on the Pontifical Council for Culture. The Catholic Bishops' Conference of the Philippines, or CBCP, also confirmed Palma's appointment to the Vatican office. And that is the latest and the biggest stories from the PNA Newsroom. For more news content, visit our webpage or head on to the Philippine News Agency's Facebook and Twitter accounts. We are also shown on the social media pages of the Presidential Communications Office and on Radio Pilipinas RP1. Stay tuned for more news updates. I am William Theo. We tell stories that inspire change. Good afternoon, everyone.